Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Sagittarius energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row will be high vibe Sagittarius energy. The bottom row will be a more worldly, shadowy Sagittarius energy. We've all got our dualistic nature. With free will, we have to battle within ourselves. You know, the pros and the cons of decisions that we make. And some people right now could be battling within themselves about making a decision. But some other people are going to be moving forward in their life differently than they were moving forward before, because the debate came out to be that they're going to have some hope and faith and belief in themselves, in their dreams, moving forward with the people in their life who are moving forward with them in that energy. And when they do that, they're kind of leaving their shadow an old version of themselves behind, and they might leave certain jobs, friendships, or relationships behind just because they don't view life that way anymore. We heal, we grow, we mature, ready to face our fears at different times and other people in our life. When we move forward in life, some people are happy for us. Just because we want to live our life differently isn't a problem. They wish us peace and love. Some other people aren't so happy when we might live our life differently, because maybe we won't be spending as much time with them as we would have before, won't be in relationships with them like we might have been before. So some of those people might not be happy about it. So, high vibe Sagittarius is people who are willing to learn lessons in life. Life's an adventure. Life's all about learning lessons. And Sagittarius is about higher learning and education. They're inspired to wrap their brain around this game of life. They don't like things manipulating them. Their own fears and insecurities, their own shadow nature, and other people. You know, let's wrap my brain around it. Let's see the truth. The truth sets us free. I want to be free to live my authentic life. Not let these things manipulate me that are shadowy. So, let's get the rest of these cards out. Okay. So, we'll tap into Sagittarius energy, listen to your intuition to see where you're at in the story, and listen to your intuition about some other people in your life. So, the bottom row's reading shows the child card. One thing that could be talking about for some people is we've all been in more codependent energy. We've all been children, grown up in families where we kind of look to other people to fill our cup emotionally, make us feel better, make us feel more stable and grounded, because we haven't learned to do that within ourselves, to take over that role, to love and believe in ourselves. Up here we have the Birds card, which is Sagittarius energy, the Tunnel, the House, and the Woman. The feminine figures in tarot can represent how we think and feel. Some people in their Sagittarius energy are motivated and inspired. They kind of want to keep growing and maturing themselves to their full potential. I want to learn lessons in life. I want to shed myself of some of my fears and my insecurities periodically throughout my life. Take the time to work through them so I can be done with them, so I can keep moving forward without those things influencing the decisions that I make, right? And how I act in the world. And the Tunnel card is referenced as Capricorn energy. Shadowy Capricorn is represented by the Devil. We can all have these things that manipulate us. I am inspired to put in the work and effort, because Capricorn is earth sign energy, investing time, energy, and effort. I am inspired to put in work and effort to free myself. And the House card kind of reminds me of Aries energy and the Four of Wands, which is about the self. I am inspired to free myself. And this card also references Taurus energy. And Taurus energy can have to do with our philosophy of life. How do I view life? How do I view myself? How do I view the world? How do I think about myself? How do I think about the world? It's like all these different ideas basically in our head that influence the decisions that we make in our life. I am going to work through these different thoughts and belief systems I have. And it could be even to get out of our more immature, worldly, egoic nature, because this card, the woman card, is also Taurus energy. You know, I have to learn lessons in life. For one, it's not just all about me. You know, if I want to be in more emotionally mature, loving relationships, and the reason for the top rose reading is the whip, which is Scorpio energy. Scorpio and high vibes about deep, meaningful relationships. If I want to be in emotionally mature, deep, meaningful relationships, I have got to be inspired to free myself from things that manipulate me, that keep me here versus here. If I want to be in emotionally mature, deep, meaningful relationships, I've got to free myself from things that manipulate me. My own thought process, my own way of viewing life, my own way of viewing relationships. If I have been kind of immature, kind of more focused on the world, more about me, liking a relationship to be more about me, maybe thinking people should indulge me more in a relationship, or that I could have emotionally mature, loving people in my life, and me be kind of immature, more caught up in these things of the world, and more about myself, yeah, good luck. So, you know, everybody's kind of got to go through that process. If I desire to be a more emotionally mature person, in the whip card, emotionally, I got to whip my more worldly, shadowy Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aries energy, my more immature nature, my more worldly nature, my more about myself nature. I need to emotionally grow and mature myself. And I also need to hold other people accountable for their actions. If there are people in the world who I know are still caught up more in those things, and that's not my truth of the type of relationship I want to be in, then I got to be willing to hold people accountable and hold myself accountable. We start out with the card not showing itself. Let's go see what it is. The poverty card. Well, the poverty card also is like the Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy. These two cards are Taurus energy. Do I have a lack mentality? Do I not love and believe in myself? Do I belittle and berate myself? Do I kind of indulge myself in the world to feel better? But I indulge myself in things in the world to feel better that really don't make me feel better, or keep me from emotionally growing and maturing myself, keep me from being in relationships with people who are more emotionally mature and stable and grounded and authentic and loving. I have to get out of my own lack mentality, and I have to be inspired to kind of give birth to a new me. It's not just about me in a relationship. It's about working together cooperatively with people in a just and fair and authentic and loving way. And I need to believe I do have the resources to be in that kind of relationship. I'm going to hold myself to a standard to keep being inspired, to put in work and effort in high vibe Taurus energy and Aries energy, to act with character and integrity, to make good decisions in my life. If my decisions that I make are going to affect other people in my life, I take those people into consideration if they're affected by the decisions that I make. And if there's people in my life that in their Taurus energy and Sagittarius energy could be more about wanting to be indulged in a relationship, but they do harness these energies in a more shadowy way, kind of immature, more about themselves, more about ego and image and status, and not love, well, then we're not on the same page. And then if I have to separate from some people in my life, some of you have already done that, and when you do that in the Five of Pentacles, you can kind of feel left out in the cold because you're no longer hanging out with certain people or at a certain job or in a certain relationship anymore, because you did feel kind of left out in the cold in it. And the whip card, Scorpio energy, is also the reason why the reading came out. You could have dealt with people that in their Scorpio energy of self, maybe they were kind of trying to be intimidating or controlling or act like a private detective in a relationship, or narcissistic or emotionally shallow and superficial, or just caught up in these things of the world. The reason for the bottom rose reading is the child, so maybe they're kind of codependent, wanted you to stay codependent, wanted you to make your life more about indulging them or these things of the world, making all those things more important in your life than singing your own song, giving birth to anything new. Got to do life like this. We got to stay here. Don't give birth to anything new. Don't be more bold and brave and confident. Don't invest in your own unique talent, skills, and interests. That's stepping outside of the norm. We got to conform to the world. Or I have this way of viewing life. Like in my Taurus energy, that in my Sagittarius energy, I'm motivated and inspired to live my life like. You're doing things kind of outside of the box. No, get back in the box. Get in the box. I kind of love that quote on the movie Barbie when she was going to go back into the adult size person box. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've been in a box. I remember the smell of the box and being on the shelf. And, it kind of lacks creativity and imagination, right? And that's not Sagittarius energy. I am inspired. Life is an adventure to be lived. There might be some people that might like to make their life about controlling people, manipulating people, ego, image, or whatever way they want to live their life. But if I kind of in my own creative, inspired nature of self am kind of inspired to give birth to something new when I'm ready to move forward in life differently. Not everyone in my life views life that way and they're not inspired to do it. That's okay. And some of those people also are like, that's okay. You go do what you do. You do your life. I'll do mine. I'm not ready to do that, but that's okay. You do yours. But other people in our life cannot like it because they wanted us to keep living life the way we were living it. It's easier if it's a friend, a family member. We all know everybody's different, but if you're in a romantic relationship, it can be more difficult because you're doing things different. And sometimes they definitely don't like that because they might not be willing to do life any different. And when you view life differently, when you've kind of been inspired to work through some of the things in your own lack mentality, your past pain and heartbreak, your self-limiting beliefs, you're kind of not in the same energy. You don't act and view life and react in life the way you used to when all those things still bothered you, or when you were more caught up in these things of the world. You're like a different person. And then some of those people, it's like, well, I don't know that I want to be in a relationship with you anymore. And you might be thinking, I don't know that I want to be in a relationship with you anymore. We're just different. We're kind of going on different journeys. So let's go look at the bottom row. And there are some people in the world that could be looking at you, thinking you are someone they could maybe be in a deep, meaningful relationship with. But if they're already in a relationship, well, I don't know. I guess it could make them think about if some of them are hiding, that they kind of feel left out in the cold in their relationship. Well, that's something they need to work through on their own. We have a card not showing itself. I just don't remember. Oh, it is not showing itself now. So what is the card not showing itself? The lilies, which is Capricorn energy. So, and up here we have Capricorn energy, but it's about, this kind of reminds me of like a birth canal. We have to go through this period of the dark to kind of, in our fire nature, to love and believe in ourselves. It's kind of like going out into the light. I want to live my authentic life. I don't want to hide behind my ego. I don't want to make my life just about these things of the world. I don't want to wear like a mask or hide behind my defensive nature. I want to be more bold and brave and confident, to be my authentic self, to live my authentic life. High vibe Scorpio, exploring the mysteries of life emotionally, willing to do the emotional roller coaster of life. I know everything I go invest in won't work out the way that I want, but I'm not willing to live a more superficial life just because I'm scared of going on the roller coaster of life. I want to go on the roller coaster. But at one point in time, because we got all these lessons to learn, we're just caught up in our more worldly nature, and we were sure that those things of the world that we made our life about or invested in would make us happy, and we could have been in more codependent energy. Then we have the playmate, murky thoughts, the clover, sad news, sweetheart, courtship, marriage. Well, with the songbird being Sagittarius energy, definitely when we're younger, we have all these things we want to go experience and learn about. We can see a lot of people that we'd maybe like to be in relationships with. And in the murky thoughts, it can be, we have these lessons learned to help us get more clear about what our truth is. And we could be the playmate, could represent our shadow nature, that, our own shadow nature kind of can make us not really love and believe in ourselves. And, we get in these different relationships, and some of them we could think, oh my gosh, this is going to work. We're going to give birth to something new. And then we get bad news and it doesn't work out the way we want. And we want to be in relationships with the sweetheart and the courtship and marriage. Some people, that isn't their idea of the dream life, and they turn their back on that. Some people just don't want to get married. And for some of you, if you are already in relationships with people like that, it can make you kind of wonder, is someone just kind of indulging themselves in a relationship with me? I might like them, but why aren't they willing to be in a more formal commitment with me? And then there's some people that do just kind of indulge themselves in a relationship. They are indulging, they kind of are being deceptive and manipulative and creating an illusion. They could look for people that they think don't know the truth about who they are. I'll come appear in their life like I am the answer to their problems. Especially if those people have went through a breakup or something and they're sad. Oh, well, I'll present myself like I'm this loving person that they should get in a relationship with. And for some of them, they create the illusion, it will lead to a more formal commitment or marriage. But for some, it's just to indulge in the relationship until the people in their life realize the dream isn't going to come into reality. For others, they are more codependent. They're not willing to kind of face their fears and insecurities. They like to be in relationships just because they're more codependent. Other relationships maybe didn't work out. Their whole thing is to maybe, just to be in a relationship. Makes me feel more stable and grounded. I have someone being nurturing and supportive to me, and maybe I haven't learned to love myself, to be more confident within myself. Some people right now could kind of feel like they're in a relationship that maybe they'd like to not be in, because it could make them feel left out in the cold. It could be a little bit that, we've all been there. We've all been sad. We've all felt rejected. We all have been where we hadn't learned to love ourselves and fill our own cup and feel more stable and grounded within ourselves. But then when we get in those relationships, it can be a problem. If we kind of weren't doing some of this work within ourselves and with the people we've been in relationship with to heal and grow and mature ourselves, and we just kind of stay in a relationship not really telling our truth, not maybe really working through some of our issues, and we just keep moving forward in a relationship. And it can feel maybe more emotionally shallow and superficial. And, that's when we kind of realize I do have that more hopeful, believing, emotionally creative, inspired nature. And ever since we've been children, we thrive best in a loving, nurturing environment. But we could have kind of not been wanting to see the truth when we could have gotten in some relationships and we have lessons to learn about listening to our intuition. Our intuition could have been trying to tell us, I think I can kind of see where this is going, and I think we should leave because I don't think this is going to turn out the way we think. But, we're young. We want to go indulge in these things. Oh, no, I'm sure they'll change. Oh, no, I'm sure this will work out. And we ignored kind of listening to our inner child nature, our intuition. And then we kind of get ourselves in some relationships that maybe with some of those people, some people are going to keep moving forward in them just because either they don't want to reveal the truth, they don't have more confidence within themselves. Sagittarius can be about balancing out your emotions. Some people are quite tipped out of balance. These two cards can be kind of about being caught up in your head. Scorpio energy, we're emotionally complex human beings. I have love for this person, but I might not want to be in a long-term relationship with them. We can love people and have grown to love people and still not want to be in a relationship with them. And some people right now could be breaking the news to someone that, maybe initially I thought we were both on the same page. Maybe both of us were kind of hoping for the best, but we do maybe have these kind of differences that how I want to move forward, how you want to move forward. You might be willing to stay in it. I might not be willing to stay in it. And I feel like I'm ready to become more independent and sing my own song, give birth to something new. I think generally high vibe people would offer the people in their life to come with them. Do you want to move forward with me in this way? But I can't keep doing this. Things have to change. Instead of aligning with just hoping everything will work out, we actually have to start investing some time, energy, and effort into maybe being more loving or authentic. And if one person is willing to do that and one person isn't, then, it's kind of seeing the truth. One person might want people to stay in it more out of codependency or something, and another person's like, I can't keep staying in it even though I have love for you. If it's not going to move forward in a more authentic, balanced, creative, inspired way where, why is it some people won't move forward? Some could be because I have some issues I would have to deal with to align with my more hopeful, believing, loving nature, but that does take work and effort to work through those things and to get out of your more kind of maybe a self-defeatist attitude. Let's get some clarifiers just for a group over here for people who might prefer not to even align and connect in maybe with their more emotional nature and would prefer to maybe live more from their mind than their heart. We have the King of Pentacles. Why? Because of the Page of Cups. So just, I would rather indulge in those things of the world to make me feel better or make my life more about these things of the world. If I have the status and the ego and the image, I'm okay with maybe a more emotionally shallow, superficial relationship because I maybe kind of emotionally immature anyway. Because if the sad news, like past pain, heartbreak, lack mentality, has always been something that blocks some people from working through their complex emotions and kind of knowing how to work with them and work through them, they might not have much experience, and it can be really confusing and overwhelming to even be in a more deep, meaningful relationship because that's just not where they're at. And it really maybe isn't what they've invested more time, energy, and effort into. They might have a lot of worldly success, but maybe not being very emotionally connected, and that could seem overwhelming. What about the people over on this side that could be people who are more emotionally connected? The Nine of Pentacles, because of the Six of Swords. So the Nine of Pentacles would be people who are more independent from their more worldly nature and maybe their more emotionally immature nature. Just less things manipulate them than that could manipulate some other people in their life. Why? Just have learned some more lessons than other people. The Six of Swords moves away from the Five of Swords, being more caught up in these things of the world. Have worked through some of their mental conflict is what the Five of Swords can be about. Also, some people might have mental conflict about seeing the truth that it is supposed to be about love, and that might not be how they view relationships. Could be it's about having a certain status and image is the most important, or if I have this certain status or image, or I'm attractive, or whatever I got going on. I think people should kind of be willing to indulge me in a relationship. I think they should provide this in a relationship. I provide this, you provide more of the emotional, hopeful, believing nature, but that can get tiring after a while because even the people whose cup could overflow that are very loving and giving and nurturing and creative and inspiring and all that, eventually they like their cup filled too, and they like to be in relationships with people who treat them the way they treat people. But sometimes we can get in these kind of mismatched relationships to help us get clear about our truth. And the people who might be more connected in with wanting a more deep, meaningful relationship, more connected in with their emotional nature and their intuitive nature, they had a dream, the other people had a dream, and their dreams are different. Yours might be more about the world, mine might be more at thinking there's more to life than just indulging in these things of the world or making our life about these things. You might find that emotionally fulfilling, and I don't quite find making my life just about those things emotionally fulfilling. I really want to be in a more deep, meaningful relationship. And I've seen the truth of it. And kind of our dreams are different. And what drives and motivates us is different. So tell us about the sad news. Oh, gosh. The Two of Swords, the Ten of Cups, the Judgment, the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Fool card, the Six of Wands, and the Tower. And the reason it came out is because of the Six of Cups, which is Scorpio energy again. Which can have to do with, like I say, would we prefer to live our life, staying in denial of the truth, thinking we'll be happy, deciding to live more from our more worldly, egoic nature? Is that how we want to live our life? For some people, yes. For other people, they kind of get out of their more egoic nature. And it's like, that's not my truth. I do want a more deep, meaningful relationship. And I see the truth that some of the people in my life don't. That's okay. They can live their life. If it's a romantic interest, it's a problem because we won't be in a relationship anymore. If it's friends or family, that's fine. You go live your life. I'll go live my life. I'll see you at Thanksgiving or Christmas. You know? But if it's a romantic relationship, the way you want to move, the way that other people might want to move forward is maybe living more from their mind than their heart. And the whole reason to get in a relationship is I just don't want to be single. Well, it's like, I don't want someone to be in a relationship with me or marry me just because they don't want to be single. I also don't want people to move forward with me in a relationship because it makes logical, practical sense. We look like shining stars. It looks like we've moved on. It's like, what about truth and love? Oh, well, no, not really that. And that's when some people are like, I'm leaving. So, what's coming up for the people? I think I'll get a different deck since I got a few cards out of that one. What's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Sagittarius energy that they might not see coming up? The Emperor and the Six of Pentacles. Why? Because of the Sun. As you and other people go through this process, you will feel more stable and grounded within yourself. That's kind of the Taurus energy and the Aries energy. You're taking action to feel more stable and grounded within yourself, to feel more balanced within yourself. This was like the Five of Pentacles. The truth has kind of set you free. To the Six of Pentacles then talk about being more balanced. Why? Because you learned to love and believe in yourself and believe that if this isn't my truth, the way I've been living my life and certain people I might have been investing my time, energy, and effort into, I'm not willing to keep moving forward with it because it's not aligned with my truth. And I am willing to step out into the light, to speak my truth, live my truth, kind of bold and brave and confident enough to stand up for my truth and what I believe in. And this wasn't my truth. Everybody has free will to live their life whatever way they want. If other people want to live their life that way, that's fine. Different strokes for different folks. Hope you're happy. But it's not my truth. And then as you do that, you're making good decisions in your life. High vibe Taurus energy, walking the talk. High vibe Leo, being warm, being loving, being authentic. Not trying to create an illusion, not trying to manipulate or control anybody. And you're looking for other people who want to work together with you in that energy. And I think as you do that, there are going to be other people who want to be in a relationship with you because you're not harnessing this energy in a more shadowy way or wanting to be in jobs and friendships and relationships for ulterior purposes. You're being authentic. You know, you're inspired to have new beginnings based on truth and love and justice and fairness and character, integrity, equal give and take. And there's going to be other people that have been in relationships with people who aren't doing that, and they're going to want to be in relationships with you. I think, because we have duality and you have free will, some people are going to want to be in a relationship with you because it's good for their ego and their image, and you're a more loving, nurturing person maybe than the people they were with. But they still could be in shadowy energy. And I think you will make a decision to... The Pentacles can be about exchanging time, energy, and effort with people to get to know the truth. What drives and motivates them. I've already been in a relationship with people who are immature. I've already been in a relationship with people who tried to were more about themselves or ego or image, and I don't want to be in a relationship with people if that's the driving factor in your life. I've already been in relationships with people who don't really want to do deep, meaningful relationships. If you want to indulge in a relationship for whatever reason, no. And I think you will get to know people to find out what their truth is before you get So here you're kind of being practical and grounded before you more emotionally invest in people. Because you could be someone that is kind of maybe your Achilles heel, is that you can tend to get in these mismatched relationships because you're very hopeful and believing and loving and you just think everybody else is, and then you get in relationships with them and find out they're not. It's like, oh. So now, and I think you'll have these new beginnings with people who do make these good decisions and do equal give and take with you, are authentic and loving, because you've learned these lessons about these different people in the world that you've come across, and you know your truth, and you've also learned to listen to your intuition. If my intuition is screaming at me, this is not the person, I will listen, I will make good decisions in my life and maintain balance within myself to not basically give up my dreams and indulge myself in my ego, because that means I'm going to repeat a pattern and have to learn some hard lessons again. And I'm really tired of learning those hard lessons. So if people don't seem to be just, fair, emotionally mature, stable, grounded, authentic, I'm not getting in a relationship with them. And you'll have new relationships with people who are in that energy. What's coming up for people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Sagittarius energy that they might not see coming? Okay. The Judgment card was kind of hiding in the middle of the deck. The Ten of Pentacles flipped. So the reason these cards came out is because of the Page of Pentacles and the Empress energy. If there's some people in the world right now that kind of being a little deceptive or manipulative or trying to confuse people about the truth, trying to tempt them with their things of the world, if that's their looks, their charm, their charisma, their money, their sexuality, trying to even playing on people's pain and heartbreak and fear and insecurities, there's going to be some people in their life that want justice and fairness and balance. And the Ten of Pentacles can mean to be in relationships with people who are balanced and insightful and self-aware and mature and have learned lessons in life. And they want the justice they deserve, to be in relationships with people like that. And they've been trying to offer resources to these people. They viewed them as harnessing high vibe Libra Taurus energy, that they were these just and fair and nurturing and stable and insightful, loving people. But they could have found out that it could have been someone in their life who reminded them, kind of on a subconscious level, of someone in their life, maybe a mother figure, people in the world that have a certain status and image, either trying to get someone who has certain status and image, like to validate their worth and value because they didn't validate their own worth and value, or getting in a relationship with someone who kind of reminds them of someone in their life that they always wanted to have them work together with them in this loving, authentic way. And they are seeing the truth that you could remind me of someone I had love for when I was a child. I always wanted that person to love me. And maybe that person was kind of distant or had their issues that they hadn't really worked through that stopped them from being more of that type of person in a relationship with them. And I think if we have that unhealed wound, we will be kind of drawn and attracted to people because we need to heal that wound. And some people have been being drawn and attracted to people who have some issue that makes them not work together with them in a just and fair, loving way. But they were kind of in their ego about trying to get someone like that to love them. And eventually people are like, you know what? I see the correlation here. And I don't need someone who has a certain status or image or has a certain way of being to love me or validate my worth and value. I realized I need to love me. I don't need people who are bossy or controlling or immature or defensive or want to be indulged or are egotistical or are immature and impulsive or got addictions. I don't need you to love me. I'm just fine with you living your life the way you live it. I have seen the truth. I needed to love me. And when I love me, I can accept that there's people in the world that have these certain traits and characteristics that maybe aren't very just, very fair, very stable, very grounded, very loving, very nurturing. And I'm okay with it. You can be you. And I'm going to love me. And I'm going to give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me. And now I'm going to go look for other people that have been illuminated to that truth within themselves and have done that work within themselves that can do equal give and take with me in a relationship. The counterpart to the Empress is the Emperor. When we learn to invest in loving ourselves, then we present ourselves in the world in Emperor energy, and we are truly who we say we are. And it could have been for some people, I just needed to appreciate what I brought to the table. I am a just and fair and loving and supportive and encouraging person, and I do deserve to be in relationships with people who are a counterpart to me. Where before, I might have been trying to always get other people to love themselves. I can still be that type of person in people's lives. I'm not dating you or marrying you anymore until you have worked through those things and are balanced within yourself and have freed yourself from the things that manipulate you, that make you not be very just and fair and balanced and loving and hopeful and believing. Instead, I'm going to go find the people that are already in that energy, and those are the people I'm going to exchange resources with. And some of you, if you think back on it, could have been in relationships with people who kind of subconsciously reminded you of someone and in your life that you wanted to have more loving to you. And some people are on that journey right now. And until they heal that wound, they're going to keep repeating a pattern if they're not just willing to deal with the truth within themselves. Why don't I feel good enough? Why do I feel rejected? Why do I, and again, why do I look for people outside of me to validate my worth and value? Why don't I appreciate what I bring to the table where I don't need other people to have to do that? Me and God will love me and validate my worth and value and appreciate what I bring to the table. And not everybody wants to be my friend. Not everybody wants to date me. Not everybody wants to stay in a relationship with me. And I just see the truth of it. We're all in different places at different times, have different dreams, have different maturity levels, blah, blah. I'm not going to stay in my ego about it. I'm going to take this action to make good decisions in my life and believe in myself and believe in my dreams and go work with people who I think are on the same page as me. Wish the other people peace, but I'm ready to give birth to something new. I don't want to repeat this pattern. And they might be comfortable in it, might be the way they want to live their life all their life, and it's not my cup of tea. I gotta go. So there you go, Sagittarius. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.